Okay, so now we're getting into a unit. So, unit 3 is where we're basically analyzing newspaper reports. There's going to be 4 different activities that you do in here. This is the first one. So, the first one, do your normal making a copy. I will put the video in when it's complete. Then you're going to scroll down. What I want you to do first is to just sort of have a look at the pictures. So I want you to look at the pictures. I want you to look at the titles, and I want you to keep scrolling. You're going to look again at the picture. You can take a little bit more time, obviously, than I'm doing. I just don't want the video to go very long. You're going to notice what's in there, like broken chairs, I don't know, cardboard. It looks really trashy. It looks like some kind of dump. I'm wondering why the bear is in there. I'm noticing the date of 2016. It's talking about human waste and a community. It's talking about Nunavut. Interesting. Okay, so then I'm going to go down. I'm going to do the same thing in this picture. I'm going to wonder who this person is, but I can see some information about that there. I can see he's riding around on an ATV. My guess is it's a pretty remote community. So I would look a little bit further at some of this information. So that's all I want you to do to start. So part 1, you are going to look at those pictures a little bit longer, obviously, than I did. Try to identify all the things that you see. And you're just going to put those in dot points here. So I'm just going to take the bolding off. So just like I did, those things that I was saying out loud, I could start to do dot points for those things here. So then what are the things that you're seeing here? What do they make you start to think? So the fact that the bear was hanging out in the garbage, what I think looked like a garbage dump. Here's an example of an inference. So an inference is kind of like reading between the lines. I haven't read that information in the article yet. I don't know if that information is going to be there, but it's some conclusions that I could make. So examples of that were, I think this is a garbage dump because the bear is surrounded by garbage. I think this is somewhere in northern Canada because I've heard that polar bears sometimes wander in northern communities. I made comments about it being a very remote community. So you're going to write down all the things that you're thinking based on the pictures that you saw. There are no right or wrong answers here. It's just what you're thinking before you read. And then you're going to identify any questions that you have. So like to me, I would wonder, what's that polar bear doing at that dump? Who's the guy that's on the ATV and what does he have to do with polar bears? And I would ask some questions. Why is the polar bear even there? So these are all the things that I'm wondering just about the pictures. So you should, once you be able to grab your information here, be able to do these 2 parts. Okay. Next, remember this part and this part should be complete sentences. So then what are you going to do? So you've finished this part, and then we're going to look at reading and analyzing nonfiction. So nonfiction is something like a newspaper article. So it's true, it's factual, where fiction is a story that somebody's made up, something like Harry Potter, something like April's Jump that you just read. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill out another chart down below. Don't worry about whether you're right. You're just writing in point form what you think you know about the topic of the article. So sometimes when you're filling out a chart like this, you might worry that you don't know anything about it, but you're actually going to be kind of surprised at the amount of things that you do know. So what you're going to do is come here. So what do I think I know? I think I know that it's quite cold up in northern Canada. I think I know that polar bears are starting to bother people more up in northern Canada. I think I know that there's got to be people that are looking after the polar bear problem that's up in northern communities right now. And then, so you're going to write down just dot points of all the things that you think you knew. So then you're going to go up and you're actually going to read the article. Once you've read the article, you're going to fill out the rest of the chart. So you're going to find, and I would suggest highlighting these things up above and then copying and paste them down below. So Control C, Control V to paste. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So you're going to put things that you confirm. So things that you thought you knew that you're like, oh yeah, I know that. So you might go up into the article and you might go, climate change is slowing the formation of winter ice on the Hudson Bay and it's melting earlier, reducing the polar bear hunting season. Like, I feel I already knew that this was happening. So I might grab this piece of information and then copy and paste it down below. Another thing, measurements show polar bears are getting smaller and lighter on average than they were in the 1980s. So did I know that? I don't think I actually knew that that they're sort of changing in terms of their makeup to be smaller and lighter. Makes sense. Sorry, I'm just waiting for this to scroll down. Makes sense, but that's not something that I totally knew. So that would go in the new learning section here. Things you thought you knew that turned out not to be true. So you might find some stuff up above that you thought was true, but actually isn't. You would put those pieces of information here. And then eventually at the end, you would ask 3 questions. So that is the assignment for this one. Reach out to me. It is just about analyzing a newspaper article, and I think you guys should all be pretty good with this. Reach out if you need me to work through it with you.